Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and I happen to be a pretty big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I just saw The Fate of the Furious last night at an early screening. I have a review of that coming later on today. But this particular story, I've been wanting to talk about for a couple days, but I wanted to wait until I saw the new movie in order to kind of bring it up because the idea is crazy. The idea is nuts, but it could work. It could work. Now, Chris Morgan, who wrote Fast and Furious uh, 8, was giving an interview with Uproxx, and he was talking about the possibilities of where to go in Fast and Furious 9. Of course, we do know that Fast and Furious 8 is the start of a new trilogy, the final trilogy in the franchise, which is so weird to say that by the time this is all said and done in a matter of 4 years, so 2021, we're talking 20 years since the release of The Fast and the Furious, and they're going to finish it with the 10th film. I don't know about you, but I feel like we're like doing the whole fucking Harry Potter thing at this point. It's just nonstop movies, completing a cycle, and who knows what's going to happen. But Chris Morgan did have this to say. He says, look, I get all versions of that question. I get, are you going to space? And please God, tell me you're not going to space because you'll lose me if you do. The only way I'd go to space is if I had something so good. Which is a bit of an odd thing to say. People saying, oh God, tell me you're not going to go to space. And then other people saying, don't go to fucking space. You go to fucking space, you're going to fucking lose me. I just want to touch upon that for a second. We're 8 movies into this franchise. Okay, at this point, they've battled tanks. They have battled a plane that technically was on a runway that was, I think, 117 miles long or 125 miles long or whatever, given the amount of time and speed they were going on that runway. They've become essentially superheroes where Dominic Toretto can get shot by Letty in Fast and Furious 6. He has a sling on his arm, and then the next scene, he's perfectly fucking fine. Jason Statham can get beat to shit, be perfectly fucking fine. Wait till you see Fast and Furious 8. You're going to question the laws of physics even more. So what's the issue here with them going to space? I mean, truly, at this point, they're basically indestructible. And if they went to space, I think it'd be perfectly interesting depending on how they did it. Now, the way this franchise has been going, essentially, is that it pretty much has become like the Triple X franchise, just starring Dominic Toretto and not Xander Cage. And as we all know, Triple X 3, Return of Xander Cage, didn't really live up to the hype of anything else that Vin Diesel has done. The likelihood of seeing another one of those is probably not going to happen. Personally, I'd rather see another Riddick movie. That's just me. Yeah, in space, this kind of seemed like the logical thing. But here's what I was thinking. This isn't going to be like fucking Moonraker, but they have gone kind of the route of extreme James Bond. Now they've teamed up with a government agency that's off the books that runs, like black bag operations. They're trying to, operate outside of government jurisdiction. It does feel something like a not a gentleman's spy concept, but a spy concept. And I could only argue at this point that the way it's going, Matt Damon is going to show up at some point as Jason Bourne just because they're both owned by Universal, and it would be a much easier crossover than anything with Aaron Cross from the Bourne Legacy. But going to space could be done if instead of going out into like the moon or an asteroid or whatever, it's something involving like low Earth orbit. Because that's a technology that actually exists. You can actually do shit with low Earth orbit. And, they could turn it into something that's extreme. You know what I mean? Like, we've got this runaway plane that's low Earth orbit that's going to drop a payload of nuclear bombs on a city, and only the best damn team in the world can fucking stop it, and that kind of shit. And that could be something they're going to do. And trust me, after the Fate of the Furious, literally anything is fucking possible, given technology, because that was a key part of the Fate of the Furious. So yeah, I'm totally fine with them going to space, provided certain things don't change. The setting can totally change. If the characters, the interactions, and the overuse of the word family stays exactly the same, then it's going to be perfectly fine to take the franchise to space. Because why the fuck not? The next movie is either going to be, I swear to God, it's either going to be in space if they get a good enough idea, or it's going to deal with like natural fucking disasters that are probably anything but natural. They were created artificially or some such shit. Because I could only imagine Vin Diesel in his Charger trying to outrun a tornado or a cyclone or a hurricane or a volcano or a tsunami. Oh God, a tsunami. He's going to totally pull a fucking tsunami. I guarantee you there's going to be a tsunami in one of the next two movies. And it's going to involve him leaping across debris on a tsunami. Very reminiscent to Kurt Russell in 1997's Escape from LA, where he rides a tsunami on a surfboard. Anything could fucking happen in these movies at this point, and fans are still going to show up. So even the ones that are like, if you go in space, I'm going to run away, it's probably not going to happen. But Chris does finish it up by saying this: but never say never. If we came up with the perfect thing and it made sense, it will be awesome. Which essentially means that the idea has probably been touted around before, and if they can find a way to make it work and everyone is happy, then it's totally gonna fucking go down. And given where, like I said, just given where this particular franchise is going now at the end of the 8th movie, anything could fucking happen. I don't know about you. I just want to see more. That is where I am at as a fan. I just want to see more. I love the movies. They're fun as shit to me. I can rewatch them any fucking time. It's like going home for me every time I watch a new movie. It's like wearing, getting underneath a nice, cozy, warm blanket, and going back into that world. That makes no sense using physics or hell, logic, or basic human anatomy. But you don't give a shit. You don't give a shit because it's goddamn Fast and the Furious, and you know what you're in for, and you're going to have a good time. But what are your thoughts on this? Fast and Furious in fucking space. Do you think it could be done? Do you think it should be done? Where do you want to see the franchise go? These are questions I have, and you can provide the answers. So go ahead and leave a comment below if you haven't already. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel for I'd like to say relatively current movie news, but this one's a few days old, so I get to it when I get to it. And my name is Matt Jarbo. You've been listening to 3 Buck Theater. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.